I'm sitting here listening to Alan Watts, and anyone who listens to Alan Watts, for myself, the way I express who he is to me, I call him like Lucifer, in the way where the opposite of that which they make the symbols seem. Like, yeah, he's a snake. He has snake's tongue. Alan Watts can speak the trueness. He can get close to speaking. He gets super close to speaking the truth of like the reality of the situation in its finest, most refined way. He has it, and listening to him, he has the ability to say anything he wants. He can put an audience in trance just by breaking down the reality in front of them, with them, in the reality itself. So it's really it's an amazing experience listening to him. The other part of it is, how do I apply? I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, that would be a good thing to talk about. How do we apply the information that we're getting? Because there's a quote that says, like, no one knows what is going to happen when you give someone every piece of information. There's never been seen before. If anything, this is the first time that's ever happened in history of time. You know, all libraries were always closed to the public. Libraries are open now, so obviously they're giving us a first layer of everything, and this is a first test. That's why this apple has an apple bitten behind it. Steve Jobs is like an Alan Watts. These men are men that understand that they can get you everything, the it that you're looking for, except the next thing to do is apply it. And that is where the truth of we are gods, and we can either be a god or a devil. And God and devil are the same, because it just means the ability to choose. That's what makes us special. We choose, you know. So, and we choose in a set of already designed options. So that's what makes it beautiful, because they're still the ultimate unknown. So when we listen to these people and interact with their wisdom and their products and services, like this apple that's bitten, biblical references, what do? We use it to enhance our perspective. It's all about just getting the finest, most refined, immaculate perspective on the current situation of things from every single area. This is the age of knowing thyself, in the sense of we can really know self as an individual. And that's what's happening with all this stuff, you know, regarding the alphabets. Is like they're just directing where to push people, with where to push all this energy, where to push all this duality and synergy and trinity. And you know, it's like, this is a lot on a person. It's like, what are we gonna do with all this energy? And then a lot of people have no real family structure, and the father is not present, and the mother can't exist without the father. It's just the truth. So we all get depleted moms, and that then makes a star who needs a safe space as in the homophone, to move forward. And without it, we have to create our own space, which is going to happen inevitably. It's just that has to be taught and structured itself. And one can either go into a culture that has the steps planned so that space can be made in one's own space for his own or her own star, or that individual, like Nipsey Hussle and like so many other people out there before and now and in the future, who can make their own space. And that's what these pieces of technology are allowing anyone and everyone to do, is to make their own space. Except, who controls the platform? Who controls the internet? Who controls how the stuff looks? Who controls the policy behind how these things are actually affecting and changing our brain, etc., blah, blah, blah. We all know that these things are not healthy, because we have to self-direct. And since this is capitalism infused into really good tech, you're going to get something that wants to eat off you while you are giving to it. So, how do we use these things? How do we tap in? We know ourselves, and we get our perspective as refined and beautiful, immaculate as possible. And then the second thing to do is to get a base schedule down, which if you start with me right now, you can join a group of people who are dedicated to getting some good data points and getting some good actual time on the scoreboard and some actual points on the scoreboard marked, because there is a game happening right now, and the only way to win truly is to not play, and the only way to make a whole bunch of people play freely is to either A, we all break away at once, which no one has the balls to do, let's be real, and then the other thing is, you know, we have to or we have a plan and a place that we create for ourselves, and that's also happening. And then there's a third thing that's silent, that happens on its own, and that's the space that we give for the unknown. So I know what I'm doing is I'm, you know, collecting data and doing all that stuff. Either way, when it comes to these Alan Watts and these, you know, Caucasoids who break through using our information, just so we know, Alan Watts is only possible because of, you know, us. And that's okay. There's nothing, that's not to like gloat. That's just, Alan Watts ain't special. Nipsey Hussle ain't special. Jesus is not special. No man is special. The only thing that made Jesus special was the fact that he told people who he was. I am God. And he said it very, very confidently. He could back it up. With the power of time, we can alchemize anything into what we want. We have the power of God because we can choose. So, you know, we can turn wine into blood the other way. I don't even know. Ooh. Because that's all what's happening. Somebody just knew how to make it all happen. You know, this is so beautiful. Seeing everything is so beautiful because it's all so beautiful. They just gave us half of the truth. And it's up to us to apply the other half ourselves. And the other half is us. Doing it and expressing it, being the example. What would the world be like if everyone was Jesus, bruh? What would the world be like? If everyone had the ability through tech to build their own space, like, and that's also what I'm touching. Because we have to guide people towards the learn, unlearn, relearn, unlearn, learn, relearn. So anyway, that's all I gotta say.